I previously showed you how we can define a variable and assign a string of characters to it, like this. I also showed you how we can output the contents of this variable using a print statement, like this. More importantly, you saw how we can change the contents of a variable while the program is running. By the way, it doesn't make any difference if you include a space on either side of the equal sign like this. It's just a matter of preference. I actually like to include spaces. It makes the code a little bit more readable, I think. So let's run this. Now this hasn't worked as we expected. Notice we're getting Kevin, John and John. Can you see why? In the program, I've misspelt the variable name here. Too many T's. So what Python has done is it's created a second variable called first name, and it's put Sally in it. But look at the print statements. I'm outputting John here, and because the variable still contains John, I'm outputting it again. Let's fix the program. And now it's behaving as expected. Here's another problem you might come across. Now I've spelt it correctly this time, but not here. When I run the program, I'm getting the error message, first name is not defined. I'm trying to output the contents of a variable that doesn't exist as far as Python is concerned. At no point in this program have I defined this particular variable or assigned a value to it. I'm attempting to output something that isn't there. Now, with all of this in mind, let's move on and capture some input from the user of the program. I'm going to get rid of these lines of code. And instead of assigning a value to the variable like this, I'm going to use something called the input function. Watch what happens when I run this program. You can see I'm getting a prompt. Please enter your name. Let's type something in. And the program is outputting James before it comes to an end. So what's going on? The input command prompts the user to enter something, and whatever the user types in is assigned to the variable which is named on the left of the input command. In this case, the variable first name. And now I'm outputting the contents of that variable. Let's try it again. Exactly the same program, but I'm going to type something different. This time the value Sarah has been assigned to the variable first name, and then Sarah has been output. Let's add a few more input commands to collect the user's details. So now I have a sequence of input commands, and I'll output these details one after another. A little bit of copy and pasting to speed things up. We're missing a double quote there. Now, just to be clear, it doesn't really matter what string of characters you put inside the input prompt, but obviously we want to give the user some indication of what it is they're expected to type in. Perhaps you'd like to give this a go. Assign values to several different variables, asking the user to enter details of their favourite food, their favourite music, their occupation, their gender, their first name, their last name, and then maybe try outputting these in a single message. Pause the video now if you want to give it a go, and I'll show you a possible solution in a moment. And here's my solution. Let's give it a go. Hello Kevin Drum, you are a teacher who likes chips, jazz. We need to fix this a little bit. Chips and jazz. And we could do with a space between first name and last name. Let's try again. That's a bit better. Did yours work properly first time?